Welcome back to Techspin. I'm Rick, and today we're checking out the Logitech G435 Lightspeed Wireless Gaming Headset. With dual beamforming mics, it's ultralight with Bluetooth and dongle connectivity. And at a fairly consistent sale price, around $55 US, it might just be the multi-purpose headset you need. The Logitech G435 delivers decent sound and volume. The EQ is dialed down for sub-bass, with a slight emphasis for bass and at the 2 kHz range, and a steep drop-off around 9 kHz, so there's no treble. It's generally enough for media and gaming. Note these don't have noise cancellation. Dual beamforming mics sound okay. USB and Bluetooth range is 10 meters to PC, Mac, phones, tablets, PS5, PS4, and Switch after an update, but no Xbox. We encountered a small connectivity issue that we'll talk about in our summary. With responsive feeling buttons, the headset is very light at 165 grams or 5.8 ounces, and the soft cloth ear cups and minimally padded cloth headband is wearable for long periods without issue. The plastic construction is sturdy enough, but the plastic tracks and the swivel connection to the ear cup is worrying, and these are likely to break with heavy use or in a backpack. While connecting with the USB dongle is painless, there's no manual, just a QR code and several steps later to learn how to Bluetooth pair, and that's silly, but eventually we connected to multiple Bluetooth devices easily, and resuming use with Bluetooth or USB had no issues. The Logitech G435 has Dolby Atmos headphone support, which we'll cover a bit later. This particular color shows dirt kinda easily. The side tone function lets you hear your mic input, but it's hard to use. Unlike the audible feedback for all other functions, there's none for this, and no software for visual indication, which is the unit's biggest weakness. Overall, the Logitech G435 delivers a wireless listening experience beyond what I was expecting, so if you handle these a bit carefully, they should work well for you. The Logitech G435 has 3 styles: blue and raspberry, black with tiny neon yellow highlights, and our pair, the off-white and lilac version. Availability and pricing vary by region, which we'll throw on screen. List price on Amazon US is around $55, down from $80, and we picked ours up on sale for $1,200 NT here in Taiwan, a good deal at about $40 US. The specs on the Logitech G435 says it's 163mm wide, but this is measured crushed, as it really has a width of 182 or 7.2 inches. But they are very light at 165 grams or 5.8 ounces. Sides are marked with an L and R in Braille. The extra dot for R on the right side faces front, perhaps easier to remember. The left cup has the dual beamforming mics, a multicolor LED, power, volume up and down, and mic mute is beside the charging-only USB-C port. I'm a fan of the breathable fabric ear pads, which are comfortable and surround the 40mm drivers, and I prefer this style to leather, which falls apart with humidity, time, and a little wear, especially in Taiwan. A light stretchy fabric covers the almost no padding headband, but after hours of use it wasn't an issue. The cups swivel and ride on reinforced plastic tracks, though this would likely be the first point of failure. Here's the flex test. The 40mm drivers spec a 20 Hz to 20 kHz response with passive 45 ohms impedance, but there's no highs after 9 kHz, which I confirmed by checking tests from other media outlets. Sensitivity is 83.1 decibels, and we saw reports that max and the limiter go past their 185 decibel rating. The mics have a 100 Hz to 8 kHz range, narrower compared to the 10 kHz range typical in most headsets. Let's do a mic test. This is an audio sample recorded using the Logitech G435 built-in microphone. The dual beamforming mics have a 100 Hz to 8 kHz frequency response, which sounds okay. Noise reduction didn't impact voice quality, and this mic should do okay for most uses. Okay, so something else that we noticed is that the volume control doesn't really work too well in Windows. Verify this with another old pair of headphones, and the volume control is working well with those. It doesn't use G-Hub at all, so there's no option for that. Here the input set to 100. If we put it down to, say, 0, and it's still recording just fine. Going into sound, here, and we're going to levels, and putting it up to 100 has no effect. Notice there's no microphone boost here either, so that limits your possibilities or abilities to adjust the volume louder. And as you can see right now, it's coming in around minus 12 dB. So just keep that in mind. Just adjust everything up to maximum, like 100 for your inputs, and you might need to do it a couple times to get the most volume out of your headset. Good luck. For connectivity, there's a low latency USB 2.0 dongle to Windows or Mac OS X 10.14 or later, PS4 or PS5, but no Xbox compatibility. After a software update, it Bluetooth connects to the Nintendo Switch. It's compatible on PC with Virtual Surround Dolby Atmos, Tempest 3D Audio Tech, and Windows Sonic Spatial Sound. We tested Dolby Atmos for headphones, and it added a little bit of directionality for footsteps or gunfire. Because highs cut off after 9 kHz, trouble used in the HRTF processing to make that virtual positioning is lost, as it should go up to 20 kHz. This makes directionality feel less defined or muddy. How much of a difference compared to other virtual surround headsets, you'll need to judge that for yourself. Subjectively, there was a slight positional improvement. You can charge the Logitech G435s while using them, but no audio passes through the included 180cm or 6-foot USB-A to Type-C charging cable. The USB dongle was the default out of the box, working immediately, but there's no quick guide on Bluetooth. Logitech wants you to grab a phone, scan a QR code, load a web page, click to a second page, select Bluetooth pairing, and then tell you how to pair. Are you telling me with a printed box, warranty, and battery recycling info and sticker, Logitech couldn't have included a basic rundown of button functions? Because these unnecessary steps will be annoying for most consumers, and there's no software control either. So let me give you a list of all the button functions right after you hit the like button down there, because you've been watching this far and you obviously like the video. It's free and it helps out a lot. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, and shopping through the affiliate links also supports the channel. So let's cover the button functions. Turn on and off by holding power, and it remembers the last connection. When on, to Bluetooth pair, press your power and mute for 3 to 4 seconds. Your device should appear in the list and you can pair with it. Mute shows a red LED, and unmute gives you a green LED. Holding mute for 3 seconds will change mode. A dark royal blue is Bluetooth, and teal is USB mode. If teal is flashing, either the USB dongle isn't plugged in, out of range, or doesn't have power. In Bluetooth mode, a slow flashing dark blue is no connection, and fast flashing is Bluetooth pairing mode. Some notes. Bluetooth pairing works in both USB or Bluetooth mode. In USB mode, power and mute shows a fast flashing teal LED. After 3 minutes attempting, it stops, but it won't return to the USB connection. Power it off and on, or change to Bluetooth mode, then back to use the USB again. It can only Bluetooth pair to one device at a time, so to change devices, do power plus mute again with a new device scanning. If it doesn't show in the list, try turning off the current device's Bluetooth or restarting the new device, scan, and try to pair again. Volume limiter is turned on by holding mute and volume down for 3 seconds, and off by mute and volume up for 3 seconds. In Windows, the limit is 70 out of 100, and adjusting higher has no effect on the volume. Under 70, the volume control works normally. The side tone function on the Logitech G435 lets you hear your mic. Double pressing mute, 2 orange flashes means it's on, 1 orange flash means it's off. When enabled, pressing mute and volume up or mute and volume down changes how much you hear your mic. Adjustment only works when side tone's enabled, and there may be 20 steps, but I only heard my mic in the top 5 steps. It's challenging to adjust as you only hear it in a call or game chat, and there's no beeps for confirmation. By the way, check that your input is set to this mic on your PC. Finally, battery status shows when you power on, and during use if you press power. We'll put the LED statuses up on screen. The Logitech G435 has an auto shut-off after 30 minutes. So should you pick up the Logitech G435 Lightspeed wireless gaming headset? At a sale price and with easy connectivity to multiple devices, it's hard to beat this deal. It's light, has good volume, and works with PCs, Macs, phones, tablets, and game consoles, except for Xbox. The buttons are good, and they sound decent, though the lack of power-consuming sub-bass is a small trade for better playtime. However, the lack of treble is noticeable for media and gaming, also impacting virtual surround. Tested for over 80 hours, I found it comfortable to wear even with the ultra-slim headband padding with hair. Without, it might be different. The over-ear cups are wedged deeper in the rear and fit no problem. The reinforced plastic ear cup arms are stiff and allow them to swivel. The tracks allow the headset to just fit my head, but the 1 cm plastic track clamps are too thin. Ear cups do catch when taking them out of a backpack, so traveling with them may be risky. On to connectivity, and USB worked out of the box. Bluetooth paired and resumed fine, tested with a Xiaomi phone and Samsung tablet, which is the only way to get an idea about the battery level. Using the USB dongle in Windows, I was playing Fortnite. I walked to our kitchen, which is concrete walled, and I hit the transmit limit and got digital garbled sounds. After the mic didn't work anymore, I had to switch source in Fortnite and back to get it working again. For virtual surround, we tested Windows spatial sound, though to me it doesn't really sound better on any headset. We enabled the $15 Dolby Access plugin to try Dolby Atmos for headphones on Windows. Using Dolby Atmos 2014 demo clips, we sensed better sound direction like the bird fluttering around in 360. Virtual surround software applies an HRTF algorithm to your audio to place sounds in virtual space, and we sense directionality with treble better than bass. HRTF goes all the way to 20 kHz with a bump around 13 kHz, unfortunately cut off at 9 kHz by this headset. For improvement Logitech, we have a few points. First, strengthen the rails and clamps to the ear cups. Second, there's no software, useful for seeing battery life and feedback for the volume limiter, and essential for emulating live use for side tone. To hear and set up side tone, two conditions must be met. The mic must be selected in Windows sound settings, and software must be using the mic to actually hear it. Due to a plugged-in StreamCam, both of these actually worked together against me. As I didn't want to trouble anyone with a 2-hour voice chat where I'm not really talking, I figured out I could test with two PCs with Fortnite running, teaming up to enable voice chat in the lobby, though for you maybe a Facebook or Skype call may work too. This is really impractical, and software to control this is sorely needed. Third is the implementation of side tone. What's baffling is this headset gives LED and audio feedback for everything else, so nothing when enabling, disabling, or adjusting side tone makes you wonder if changes were made. The on-off orange LED flashes can't be seen when you're wearing it, trying to hear the difference in states. Side tone really feels like a tacked-on feature without understanding how consumers will interact with the product. Fourth and key is there's no instructions on how to pair with Bluetooth or do button combinations. These are all finalized, right? So it's not like you were holding off so you could update the headset because then you'd need to release software. Perhaps my unit should have come with a manual, but then it's back to lack of attention to detail. Logitech, you need this info shipped with the product. Finally, Logitech, let's address the landing page you get using the QR code. This page should only be for this headset. We saw gaming mouse entries with G-Hub software, which the Logitech G435 headset does not use. This is confusing, and you need to update your site to streamline the user experience. And since we're here, you can provide download software to view the G435's battery, volume limiter status, and set up side tone easily with a software interactive mic test. Overall, it's a good sounding, decently loud headset with excellent connectivity and an okay mic. If you decide to pick up the Logitech G435 or another headset, shopping through our affiliate links in the description below and on our website, link pages helps us here with no extra cost to you. And follow us on social media at Techspin Review, and there's more reviews on techspinreview.com. It's good that Logitech is using 22% recycled plastic or more with minimal packaging. I just hope they'd remember the manual next time. I take that instead of the sticker. So we have 3 comments up. First, Brittany LD1 says she can't get all the picture options on her monitor. It's so dark. So usually picture options being locked out happens when you enable HDR, and this monitor technically accepts HDR but is dark, as we noted in that review. So you'll need to turn off the HDR. HDR still causes me problems too. I was watching the Continental John Wick on my Samsung TV, and it was barely visible. With no options to disable HDR in either the player or the TV, I had to use a PC to watch it. HDR is okay on an HDR 400 rated display, better on an HDR 600, and great on an HDR 1000 display. If you want HDR, you'll need to budget more for that. Michael NRBuyGuard3227 says he can't find a monitor that runs 144 Hz over HDMI. That's because it was commonplace up to a year ago that gaming monitors capable of 144 Hz or more were limited to 120 Hz over HDMI, usually a hardware limitation done by the manufacturer. While HDMI 2.0 supports 1440p at 144 Hz, the monitor itself or an old HDMI cable can limit you. Use a DisplayPort cable to get the maximum refresh rate, and always check monitor specs to see if HDMI gets the full FPS. The next question is from LClapzo6427. He asks, how do I change the monitor from 60 Hz to 120 Hz? Please help. Probably for console gaming, this depends on whether the console supports this monitor's native 1440p or lowered 1080p resolution for high refresh rates. There's also the issue of PC video timing versus TV video timing, which is not the same, meaning some monitors like the Gigabyte G34 WQCA ultrawide don't work with the PS4. Always check console compatibility in reviews before you buy. For PC, you'd right-click on an empty desktop spot, click Display Settings, and scroll down to Related Settings and click Advanced Display. In the drop-down box, you can choose a refresh rate and keep changes. With HDMI or an old cable, you may get a black screen. Check out our 3 mistakes to avoid with HDMI video for more help. That's it for today, and we're thinking of checking out the cheaper Logitech G435 or more expensive G535 in the near future, or other brands too. Whether it's headsets or other tech, let us know what you'd like to see reviewed next. Join the discussion in the comments, and please hit like, subscribe, the bell to see upcoming episodes. We really appreciate you watching this far. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next. Bye for now.